Hello, my name is Maria Schiller. I'm an assistant professor in public policy, migration and diversity, and I'm the coordinator of the GMD Master specialization. Glad you're here. My mission for today is to provide you with enough information so that you can make up your mind if this master is the right choice for you. I will tell you about the key themes of this master, about its design and features, and about what is expected from you if you decide to apply. As migration and diversity are shaping our societies, policymakers and society are challenged to find adequate strategies and responses. Our GMD Master is targeted at students who want to learn how to design these strategies and also gain a deeper insight into the issues. Some of our students directly come after a related bachelor or other master program, and some also bring some previous personal or professional experiences in the field. By pursuing this master, you will become an expert on migration and diversity with a solid disciplinary grounding. At the end of this master, students will be able to understand and to critically analyze such phenomena as politicization of migration or creating inclusive strategies and to develop innovative suggestions on how to deal with those. Our graduates often pursue careers as policy advisors at different levels of government, as project officers for NGOs of various kinds, as PhD researchers, and as policy analysts in think tanks or European institutions. Let's turn to the 4 key themes of this program. As you probably all know, in 2015 the number of international migrants worldwide was the highest number ever recorded. Civil wars and political persecution in home countries, degradation of ecosystems, poverty are all reasons for individuals to leave their homes behind and cross borders to seek a new life elsewhere. The current situation in Afghanistan reminds us that questions around rights to international protection for asylum seekers have not lost their saliency. But migration is also a social phenomenon, and we know that this is about humans and not things, so it's often hard to predict. Therefore, we need to better understand when and why do people migrate. And if they do migrate, how can we, as policymakers, but also as international NGOs or social workers, respond to and manage migration? Second, the arrival of immigrants makes societies more diverse, creating its own challenges to respond to migration after people have left their home country and have arrived somewhere else. There are different scenarios, so this can just become an everyday normality in cities. It's a banal, commonplace fact. Diversity becomes part of the fabric of a city. But we also know that diversity can trigger anxieties and result in polarization. Immigrants experience discrimination and racism. In this master program, we therefore grapple with the question how diversity affects modern society and how one can manage such diversity. While much public debate about migration from Africa focuses on what is often called the global north, we know that south-south migration flows continue to grow compared to south-north movement. When talking about forced migration, the vast majority of refugees is hosted in developing countries, usually countries that are very close to refugees' countries of origin. How does migration then affect development? And how can we create a link between migration and development? That is a question we will address as well. Last but not least, migration is an emotionally loaded topic. No matter where, with whom you start talking about migration diversity, most people will have an idea and opinion about it, no matter how well or little informed they are. This is also because migration is a highly politicized topic, and not seldomly elections are being decided based on discussions on migration. However, we often don't know enough about the underlying perceptions and where these are coming from. How and why are immigrants perceived in specific ways, and how can we manage the consequences of public perceptions? The GMD Master is quite unique in that it brings together experts from different disciplines and institutions in one master training program. As part of the Leiden-Delft Erasmus Center GMD, it is based on a joint and collaborative effort of these institutions to generate knowledge for and have impact on the governance of migration diversity. This means that in the GMD Master, our teaching staff consists of migration scholars from Leiden University, from TU Delft, from the International Institute for Social Sciences in The Hague, and from Erasmus University Rotterdam. There are currently 4 tracks: history, migration and development, public administration, and sociology. TU Delft does not have its own track yet, but is represented with one shared course. Important for you is that for your application, you already need to decide which track you would like to follow, and then you apply through that respective institution. So how does the curriculum then look like? The master program contains a joint part of 5 courses that students from all tracks are following, and a part with track-specific courses. In the joint part, you will follow courses that introduce you to the theories on governance, you will meet practitioners in migration and diversity governance, and you will engage with sociological, political, historical, and development-related approaches. In the specific tracks, you will then deepen your disciplinary training on theories and methods in sociology, public administration, history, or development studies. I will now tell you a bit more about the 2 tracks that we offer here at the ER. But before I do so, I want to point out that all information on the master can also be found on our website, mastergmd.ur.nl. For the history and the development track, links are provided there as well, and also for the other tracks, where you can get more insights and also watch some additional videos. The public administration track focuses on the governance and the management of migration and diversity. Here, you will learn to understand and critically assess the processes and practices of policymaking, engaging also with the different actors involved, and you will investigate how policies have been developed and implemented in cities, countries, and at the EU and international level. You will look at how migration and diversity are discussed in political debates and in the media. How does politicization inform policy responses to migration and diversity? And what strategies can be used to design more inclusive policies? When graduating from the Public Administration track, you will receive a Master of Science in Public Administration with a specialization in GMD. The Sociology track focuses on migration and diversity and its societal repercussions. So here you will learn to understand why do people migrate and how do migrants integrate in receiving countries, or sometimes fail to do so. You will look at the impact of migration and diversity on society, engaging with established sociological theories and research on the subject. This includes learning about the urban implications of migration, for example, in the form of segregation. When graduating from the Sociology track, you will receive a Master of Science in Sociology with a specialization in GMD. What are some of the key features of our Master? So here, the Master will bring you, first of all, to different cities. The courses will be provided at the universities, and that way you will be studying not at one, but at several universities. It also means you will need to travel between those cities for your courses. But don't worry, Leiden, Delft, The Hague, Rotterdam, they're close by and they're well connected by public transport. The GMD Master is designed as a practice-oriented, hands-on program, which means we are trying to bring you in contact with practitioners and relevant institutions as much as possible. We do that by organizing, for instance, a yearly excursion to Brussels, where we visit EU institutions dealing with migration management, as well as NGOs and think tanks active in the Brussels sphere. As part of the governance course, we visit different institutions, including, for example, the visit of a mosque, an asylum seeker reception center, or a specialized migration museum. Also, within courses, you will practice advising and lobbying policymakers and organizations in the field. A key feature of our Master is that we do not consider our students as mere recipients of knowledge, but we think of them as co-producers of the GMD Master experience. In other words, we stimulate you to actively make part of creating your own education. So we do this by creating each year a student board, which is a platform for students to organize their own events and activities, such as the GMD Job Market Day, a Student Wellbeing Week, guest lectures, and other activities that you can think of and that you think might complement the Master. Ways in which our GMD students become active include participation in defining the GMD Action Plan against institutional racism, creating their own talk show or webinars, forming a GMD team for the annual charity run, and by setting up an international network of students of migration studies, as happened last year. Annually, we also have several social events, which we consider as really a key ingredient for fostering a cohesive GMD student body. making sure that everyone feels at ease and finds their place within the group. These joint social events include the introduction and welcome event, an annual GMD potluck dinner, the graduation ceremony, and the end of the year event. Recently, we created several opportunities for our GMD PA Master graduates to go on an international exchange. We joined the European Network of Master Programs in Migration Studies, UMIX, which allows you to spend another year at one of our partner universities. Also, we have an exchange agreement with the University of Pompeu Fabra in Spain, in Barcelona, allowing PA students to spend another year there to deepen their knowledge on the politics of migration and diversity. I would like to invite you also to join us on Twitter and Facebook, as we often announce events and opportunities there. You can keep up to date on what is happening in the master program. So please do check out our social media pages. And of course, just a reminder to also consult the website with all the informations. And also you can reach out there through the chat function to our student ambassadors and to me with all your questions. So if you would like to apply to our master, here is what we will be expecting in your application package. You will have a relevant bachelor degree related to sociology, public administration, history, development studies, including usually a 7.5 EC of research methods, so courses that you took previously. And we will also look at your academic performance. And in PA and SOC, we expect an average grade of 7.0 as a minimum. We also want you to explain your motivation in a one-page motivation letter. So please highlight their relevant experiences you have, job experiences, internships, volunteering, personal experiences that you bring to this master. And please provide a proof of proficiency of English. It's important for you to know that we accept applications all year round, and the earlier you apply, the better. Because if you're rejected, you still have the opportunity then to apply to other programs. So you will get a response within 3 to 4 weeks usually after you applied. Of course, I keep my fingers crossed that your application will be successful and that we can welcome you to our master next year round. I hope that this video was helpful also for you to make up your mind. Good luck with your application and hopefully see you soon in Rotterdam.